Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 7 o'clock, and without further ado, I'll call the meeting, a regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Orleans to order. I'm Michael P. Marnick. I am the chair, and with me tonight are members William McCarthy, Beth McCartney, Matthew Cole, and Gerald Mulligan and Bruce Taub, constituting a quorum. Also present are the board secretary, Sandy Stewart, and the building commissioner of the town of Orleans, Tom Evers. We have, our agenda includes the one hearing and the adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting, which have been circulated. Is there any question concerning the minutes of the meeting of November 1, 2017? Then I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
So moved.
And the second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Members of the board, it is my obligation to tell you that a package from Troy Wall Associates was received at Town Hall, addressed to some of us as Board of Appeals members today. And it encloses several copies of a civil action cover sheet and the complaint by the trustees of the Towel Oaks condominium against the Zoning Board of Appeals and SSJ Real Estate Holdings LLC. The specific named defendants, and only in their capacity, says the Zoning Board, are myself, Mr. Jablin, Beth McCartney, and Mr. Cole and Mr. Mulligan, who were in decision on the two cases. The complaint alleges that, in substance, that we were erroneous in refusing to grant the appeal of the decision of the Orleans Architectural Review Commission, and our second decision in allowing and granting a special permit. Anyone who wishes to have a copy of these pleadings, just let me know privately, and I will provide them to you. Town council will be well advised to proceed. Tonight's hearing is in case number 2072. This was originally scheduled in October, and at the request of the petitioner, the hearing was continued until today. The purpose of the continuance, which we unanimously voted, was that the Conservation Commission was requiring a change to the proposed location of the proposed cottage. So here we are today, and I'll call the case, which is the application of Tamara Fushgamash for a special permit as set forth in General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 6, under Orleans zoning bylaw, Section 164, 3C, 1B, 164.21A, and 164.21A, Note 5, to raise and replace an existing cottage which is non-conforming with respect to required front yard setback and where the existing and proposed building coverage exceeds 4,000 square feet. Now, this property is located at 77 Towie Lane, Orleans, map number 93, parcel number 4. Has any member of the board had any communication with the applicant or any of the applicant's agents which would constitute a conflict of interest if should otherwise be disclosed to the public? There's no positive response, so I declare that the board is indifferent and impartial. We have a quorum, and the following members will be consider this, although all members may inquire at the hearing. Myself, Mr. Cole, Mr. McCarthy, Ms. McCartney, and Mr. Mulligan. Mr. Little, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, David Little from Ryder and Wilcox, representing Tamara Fuchs Gamache. And I want to thank you for allowing the continuance for a month to this date. We had a few meetings with the Conservation Commission, and the result of that is a new location for the proposed guest house that is a little further back from the top of the coastal bank, and I'd like to pass out revised plans.
Thank you.
And if you'll note, these plans are the plans that were stamped and approved by the Conservation Commission yesterday. They have not issued the order of conditions for the project yet, but I think the fact that you have both the site plan stamped and the landscape plan stamped as approved by the commission is sufficient to show that I was successful yesterday with the Conservation Commission. Originally, we had proposed the cottage to be rebuilt a little bit closer to the coastal bank. They wanted to see the cottage moved completely outside of the 50-foot buffer to the bank. So we went back to the drawing board. We adjusted the location. We essentially slid the whole thing parallel to Towee Lane in a westerly direction. So the coverage on the plan remains the same, but what I can say is that the setback, the non-conforming setback to Towee Lane of 15.5 feet, which exists, we are now proposing to maintain 15.5 feet when we make the move. So we are proposing to maintain the non-conforming nature of the guest house. And as you'll note on the plan, if you had the opportunity to go to the site, this is the last house on Towee Lane. You go to the very end of Towee Lane, so you really don't even see this cottage unless you have to go down there to turn around or you're going to visit the Gamaches at their house. I provided you with a rendering that gives you an idea of what the elevation of it looks like. Several views. I also provided you with the architectural plans from Rick Roy Construction, both elevation views and floor plans. The height of the cottage actually gets reduced a little bit from what presently exists, and the footprint of the cottage is reduced by 13 square feet. So while we have currently a total building coverage of 6,094 square feet, we're actually reducing it to 6,031 square feet. If I can bring your attention to this town GIS map that I printed up from the town website. The cottage is here, the road ends here, the closest neighbor that could see the cottage is here on Towee Lane, and then here on Lake Drive. I had an opportunity to speak to the owners of the Lake Drive property. They had no issues with what we were proposing. It's a one-bedroom cottage. It's proposed to continue to be a one-bedroom cottage. We're proposing a swimming pool. Well, that part of the proposal is not what we're here before the zoning board for. It was significant with the Conservation Commission, and that's why they wanted the pool, or at least the guest house and the majority of the pool, 50 feet away from the top of the coastal bank. Included with what I just handed out is one of the requirements of the commission is that we provide a minimum of a 25-foot native buffer between the site and the coastal bank, and provided a significant amount of native plantings as well. As for the special permit criteria, we believe that the 2.5 acre site is adequate for the replacement. The non-conforming front yard setback of 15.5 feet is being maintained. The site is suitable for the proposed replacement. The resulting coverage is being reduced by 13 square feet. There would be no additional impact on traffic flow or safety. We believe there's no new negative impact on neighborhood visual character. The property is served by a Title V septic system and is served by town water. All stormwater runoff is contained on the site. The adequacy of utilities and public services are not impacted by replacing the cottage. And there would be no noise or litter associated with the replacement other than the temporary noise impacts during construction. And a dumpster would remain on site during construction to contain all debris. And as to the impact of groundwater quality, recharge volume, and water quality of coastal and freshwater bodies, we believe these valuable resources will not be impacted. And as I noted earlier in my presentation, we did get approval yesterday morning from the Conservation Commission for this project. And I think the mitigation that we're proposing goes a long way to protect the valuable resources as called out in item number 8. So the one thing that I have to point out to you is on page 6 of the special permit application, where I originally had a 9.5 setback. I was proposing to reduce that by 2/10 of a foot. Now we're proposing to maintain a 9.5 foot setback. So we're maintaining the nonconformity. We're not changing it in any manner. The cottage gets shorter, it gets smaller, and we hope that you find that this is in keeping with the general harmony and character of the neighborhood and will not be detrimental to the general purpose and intent of this chapter. Thank you.
Can you repeat again, please, sir, the total square feet of the proposed dwelling, guest house, and boathouse?
On page 6 of the special permit, under data, we have an existing building coverage of 6,094 square feet. We have a proposed building coverage of 6,031 square feet. That doesn't seem to jive, does it?
So what you've done is you chopped out 50 square feet off the guest house by the reconfiguration.
We did make it smaller. I'm not
Yeah.
exactly positive about the number, Mr. Marnick.
Well, the only reason I'm asking this, David, is because the new site plan doesn't have that grid.
And the coverage information is correct on the plan. The coverage information that appears on the plan is in fact correct. The only thing that changed was sliding the building.
Oh, okay, all right.
Nothing, the building itself is the same, we just slid it along the roadway.
All right.
So the calculations in the old,
All the calculations,
plan.
yes.
Okay.
All the calculations are the same except for the nonconformity to the street is being maintained at 9.5 feet now, rather than being reduced by 2/10 of a foot.
Any other questions?
So despite having three Street numbers, it's only one, the whole lot is one, it's one lot, the whole site?
Yes, it is considered by the assessors number 77, but historically, because they have 3 buildings on there, they've referred to them as 77, 78, and 79.
It's all one lot,
It is all one lot,
which is why you have the coverage ratio.
yes.
Any other questions? Is there anyone present wishing to speak in, Beth, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to
I just had a
speak.
question. I don't find the 9 feet that you're referring to from the street. I see 15.5.
It's the 9.5 foot. So we have a 9.5 foot nonconformity. We're maintaining a 15.5 foot setback,
Right.
which means the nonconformity is 9.5 feet, so we're maintaining a
Okay.
9.5 foot
Sorry.
nonconformity.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Very well. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone present wishing to speak in opposition or in commentary to the application? There's no response. Do you have anything further, Mr. Little?
No, thank you.
Then I'll close the hearing for the taking of evidence and ask for the sense of the board.
No letters? No letters from the neighbors?
Excuse me, members of the board, there are no letters in favor of or in opposition to the application from neighbors or anyone else.
I'm inclined to support.
We'll entertain a motion to make the findings and to issue a special permit as requested.
Did I make the motion?
I'm asking for someone else to make it, but could you make it?
Sure.
Very well. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'll write the opinion.
Thank you very much.
Is there any further business to come before the meeting?
Move to adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Oh.
Thank you, members of the board.